Majority of the time, yung stability of rents, nakikita yan sa mga multifamily residents. Kasi people, whatever situations or economy we have, people needs a place to live. That's the very reason why yung stability ng rental property on residential multifamily is huge, especially on a growing market. Kagaya ng Canada that is very open for immigrants, that's where the big demand for housing is. Up to now, yung housing crisis natin is still there. So we still need more housing. It's not houses ang pinag-uusapan dito. Ang pinag-uusapan dito are multi-family homes. Kaya that's what we want to invest into. I'll bring in this. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, I just want to know how far are we when it comes to investing. Gusto ko lang i-share sa inyo tong interactive workbook ko sa investment. Okay, we're gonna go to the basic first. Para we'll have to, sabi nga, in order for us to really appreciate the present that we understand, we have to go back and tignan natin what was before. Here's actually, it is an exercise. When it comes to real estate, there are many types of real estate. And majority of us are, ang alam natin na portfolio that we have, and most of us know, is the residential real estate. Our house, maybe kung we have a rental property or other rental property, di ba? But really, what is in this type of investments that we are looking for? Ano ba talaga? Why are we investing our money? Why? So these are the reasons. Some of the reasons why we are investing in real assets. Okay, and there are different types of real estate deals out there that you could see. Okay, so let's just mention some of those na nasa chart. We have single family home, SFR. Mga investors, when you hear them say SFR, alam ibig sabihin nun house, yung bahay natin. Mansions, the big mansions, apartments, office, retail, self-storage, mobile homes, land, yung farmland, and land or empty lot. Are you all familiar with this? Familiar ba tayo dyan? Okay, very good. So now let's see which of these category will have a check mark when we discuss the one on the left side. Like, which of this asset protects your capital? What do you think? On all those 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 properties. Lahat ba yan check? What do you think? It protects your capital. So, house, meron akong alam na bahay na sa halip na tumaas ng value, bumaba ang value. Does it protect your capital? Maybe yes, maybe no. Parang 50-50, correct? What about mansions, big homes, mga bahay ng mga nasa LA na nasunog? Okay, if we can relate to that kind of incident, does it protect your capital? Yes, kung siguro your house is well insured. But we heard a lot of stories that some of these homes were not covered by insurance, which is really... Anyways, apartments. Does it protect your capital? Offices?
Indeed.
Self-storage, mobile homes. It does look like it protects our capital, correct? It does. It does look like it. Tingnan natin yung good side of the equation. The bright side. What about yung number 2? Does it provide cash flow your house? No. Unless your house is a rental property. Meron ba ditong ang bahay ay rental property? Is there anyone here? For me, our house is not providing us cash flow. But the house that we're living right now, it doesn't have a cash flow. Kasi this is the place we live in. So majority of us who's living in a house and not renting it out doesn't provide cash flow. Mansions, no. Apartment, yes. Right? Office, yes. Retail, yes. Self-storage, yes. Mobile homes, depending, if you're living in your mobile homes, if it is your house, no. If it is rented, yes. Land, farmland, yeah. Ang seasonal cash flow, ang farmland. Empty lot, maybe if the lot is rented for parking, even if it's empty, cash flows. Ang cash flow kasi is, it will provide monthly income. That's what it means by cash flow, or a periodic income. Long-term appreciation. Maybe all? Pwede, di ba? What about tax write-off? Tax write-off. Your house, does it provide tax write-off? If you sell it, if that's your residence, you won't pay tax. So on that note, it's a write-off. But ang sinasabi kasi dito na tax write-off is when you still own it, it gives you a tax write-off. So your house, no. Mansion, no. Apartment, yes. Retail, yes. It has tax. Kasi as I told you, real estate investments is where the most tax write-offs are. Okay?
Pero Mel, yung house kapag ginagamit mo for side business, pwede mong i-use yun for tax write-off, right?
That's
But
it.
not the whole
Yeah,
property though. Like kunyari, ilang rooms, yung mga ganun. So.
Yeah. If you're using your house for business, right? You can get a tax write-off. Yeah, tama yan. So mobile homes, as I said, if your mobile homes is something that you own and then you live on it, you're not renting it out, so no tax write-off. But if you rent it out, yes. Land, farmland, merong rulings dito ang farmland so hindi ako masyadong expert sa farmlands. But as far as I know, it's a real estate. Any land in farming, ano yan, covered, meron pa nga yung mga, parang mga incentives pa, ganon. Kasi it's been used for our, agriculture. So, land, empty lot, if it is not being used, it doesn't give us any tax write-off. Good debt. Maybe all of these are good debt. Ito, laging ang good debt, especially your house, if you're very emotional with your house and you spend over than what it should be, it's not a good debt anymore. Tapos, titiran mo lang saglit and then you're gonna sell it out, hindi mo makukuha yung ginastos mo dun sa property, so it won't give you a good debt. But, similar to mansions. So, apartment, yes. Office, kasi it gives you that part of the debt where you can take advantage of the interest. So protects you against inflation. Is this a check for everything? Sino ang nakatamaan ng malaki big hit when the interest rate goes up and when the interest rate goes down? Which one? Majority of the time, because that is something na one of the reason why a multifamily investment is really rising. It's because of this. Dahil even during the time of pandemic, and although naandun na freeze yung mga rents natin, people still needs a place to live. Okay? Nagsara maraming mga offices, nag-hybrid ang mga businesses where you can work from home. So, ang offices, they were cut into half pagdating sa vacancy. Ang taas ng vacancy ng offices. Retail, nagkaroon ng maraming challenges. So, I mean, in inflation-free, yun yung sinasabi. When you're in the right opportunity, like investments in an apartment, actually self-storage is also a good one. Parang based on what I can see, ang mga tao kasi especially, they don't want to let go of anything that they own, so they put everything into storage. Kaya maraming business ngayon na lumalabas sa storage facility. Ang laki ng U-Haul dito sa atin, meron pa tayong Access, meron pa tayong well, there's a lot, Bulldog, ang daming storage facilities. They're actually booming here. Proven and tested over time. Well, these are all real estate. I would say it's check on each of this. Easy to finance. Is our house easy to finance? Simple, di ba? Kasi as long as meron ka magandang work, you have a good credit, you can easily finance yung buying process dito is simple. Mansions kasi medyo mataas ang category nito. So, it depends. It's not really easy. Apartment, ngayon lang namin napatunayan ang simple palang i-finance ng apartment. Especially those in a good location, napaka-simple i-finance. Office, yes, the same thing. Retail, as long as these are all operational, yes. Yes. Mobile homes, same thing. Parang single family homes. Lot and farm, yan yung medyo challenging, mga lands. Easy to scale. Ang easy to scale lang dito ay apartments, office, and especially kung strip mall lang yung retail, strip mall, yes. Yan yung mga, and self-storage facility. Those are easy to scale. Hard to disrupt. Ano bang ibig sabihin niyan? Ang ibig sabihin ng hard to disrupt, hindi basta-basta nagkakaroon ng, well, kasi alam niyo dito, ang mga real estate properties kasi, especially if it is all covered by so meron siyang business, well, except for ang protection ng single family homes and ang mobile homes is yun yung tinitirahan natin, and magkaroon man ng what's this? Tamaan man ng, although sa Canada hindi nangyari yan. Sa US nangyari yan, di ba? Yung parang nagkaroon ng issue ng I think it happens to Alberta. Di ba? Naapektuhan yan. Parang 3 years pa lang ako sa real estate. I remember that happens to Alberta. Nagkaroon ng tawag dito, challenge housing market ng Alberta. But I mean, because it's real estate, majority of the real estate assets are still real. Hindi siya basta-basta naapektuhan ng any economic crisis or whatever. Diba? Yun yung ano ng mga portfolio na yun. Liquid. Alin ang liquid dito? When in the game of real estate, you should not be liquid. In the game of real estate. Diba? Kalimitan sinasabi sa atin, dapat liquid ka, you should have this and that, and just in case of emergency. Yeah, that's probably personal. Pero in the game of real estate, you should be illiquid. Dapat yung asset mo is something na kasi pagka ikaw ay liquid in real estate, it means that you don't know what to do with your money. So you should put your money into work. But when it comes to, kasi ang liquidity and cash flow is two different things. Hindi siya basta-basta mako-convert into cash. Right? Ang real estate. Single family, alam niyo sa Winnipeg exception din. Napakaganda na real estate market natin dito. Nagkataon talaga na we are in a very, Manitoba is one of the, I would say, one of the provinces in Canada na napaka-conservative. Yung ating steady increase on prices, kahit dumaan tayo sa COVID, nakita niyo yung hindi nagkaroon ng fluctuations yung ating average market trends ng real estate, ng mga bahay. Ang simpleng i-convert, especially if the house that you're living in is in a very good location. Kaya kung gugustuhin mong ibenta yung bahay mo at nandun ka sa lugar na magandang location and you're on the right price, ang bilis mong mag-convert ng property. That's one of, I would say, amongst these lists, ang single family, ang pinaka, I would say, kung sasabihin liquidity, siya yung madaling ma-convert into cash. The reason why we're discussing this is because ano ba talaga yung reason nyo bakit kayo mag-i-invest and why it is very important for you to categorize ano bang klaseng investment o anong klaseng type of asset, klaseng type ng real estate. Early when we came here to Canada in 2009, yung folios namin is more of single family homes that we buy, fix, and then we sell. Yun yung ginawa namin. On our list, I think almost close to 30 na yung nagawa namin in a period of magsi 16 years na kami sa Canada. So naging namin, parang yun yung direction route namin in real estate investing. Very recent, just like what I told you before, recently switched to a different category of scale. Doon namin nakita yung scale. Another thing is yung sustainability. So if you will not find the right property, gagastusan mo siya ng renovation, and isi-sell mo siya, hindi mo na manage yung cash flow mo doon, you'll probably end up losing money because of many things. So sa amin, hindi naman talagang loss, but meron kaming mga break-evens, tapos merong mga a little bit of margin lang kasi pag inabot ka ng, alam mo yun, nag-extend ka ng number of months na hinold mo yung property and you don't really know what to do kasi meron ka na ulit kasunod. So you're gonna sell it for less in order to get the other property and then bawi ka na lang doon. So ganun ang nangyayari. So yung sustainability, wala. Meron ngayon, in the next few months may work ka, and then after that wala na naman. So wala siyang sustainability kasi wala din siyang scale. The beauty of what we found out last year was sa apartment, multi-family investing, meron kang scale. Kasi hindi lang isa, hindi lang dalawa, tatlo, apat, hindi lang yon. You can go as much as many doors, like 50 doors. Yung tinitingnan natin, did I tell everybody we just, we're actually, well, yung isa na-get back na sa akin, 64 units kasi, but it doesn't work the way we want it to work, so hindi siya pwede. We're still waiting for one of the portfolios outside of Manitoba, 160 units. So maganda yung numbers niya. We're we're just working on tingnan namin, nasa detail ano pa lang kami, underwriting pa lang kami doon. So what it means by investing in a multifamily portfolio, so bukod sa scale na andun yung, kasi sinabing scale, maramihan, na andun yung sustainability kasi andun yung cash flow. Every month, you're not paying for it anymore. The asset is paying you back on your investment. Yun yung importante. Yan ang bilin ng coach natin. Do not buy anything that has no cash flow. Yan ang rule of thumb. And that's one of the numbers that we learned previously, di ba? Cash flow. And then, ang pinakamaganda sa lahat is, kasi yung cash flow, that's a spill eh. Parang yun yung natira. Ang pinakamaganda sa lahat is the infinite, yung refinance. Yun yung bulk of money that will gonna go back to you when you invest on something in a period of time. So I'll discuss that over. Nag-create ako ng parang example na chart, and for you to really understand how is it, gaano ba kaganda talaga ang investment into real estate sa multifamily. So dito, these are all assets, real estate deals, but not all of them has yung, sabi nga, well, pili kayo. Ang napili kasi talaga namin is multifamily. That's where we are. That's why yung focus ng aming search is on the multifamily. Okay? So, is there any questions from the group so far? Kung may question na, just raise it. Minsan nakakatakot pag walang questions, hindi mo alam kung naiintindihan yung sinasabi, di ba? Loud and clear? Good. Now, I have, this is for the sake of example lah. So I want you to understand yung pinagsasasabi kong numbers. Let's discuss this, okay? This is just an example. When you invest on a multifamily, always remember, this is not parang kaya ng isa lang or ng dalawa lang. Majority of the time, this is a partner's acquisition. Ganito yung ginagawang presentation ng mga partners natin sa US who's finding a deal and then presenting it to the club. So they will prepare yung ganitong klaseng projections where people can see and understand clearly ano ba yung klase ng investment structure ng partnership. Simply put, this is just an example. Let's say, and this varies with deals. Okay? Nagbabaris to. May mga deals na hindi mo kailangan ng ganitong kalaking investment. Meron namang deals na dapat mas malaki yung investment mo. So, but just for the sake of an illustration, this is how it works. Yung capital contribution, let's say, we put in money worth 100,000. Okay? First year, 100,000. Ang units of ownership mo, it depends on the equity that you put in. So let's say, this represents 5%. So 5% of ownership. And then, iba yung percentage ng cash-on-cash return. Na-discuss natin yan last time. Cash-on-cash return means, nag-invest ako ng 100,000, 3% no ang kikitain per year. Okay? So you have your ownership of the property, which is 5, and then meron kang 3% na return on your investment every year. So cash flow. That's the cash flow. So that's that. Partners cash flow. Now, in a period of 3 years, let's say, you decided, gaya nito, this is an example, correct? Sabi dito, projected return of capital, refinance third year, let's say, bebenta in 6 years. On the third year, watch this. From beginning of the year, you have still your 100,000, you still own 5%. Pero habang kasing nagbabayad ka ng iyong loans, tumataas ang iyong, nagkakaroon ka ng payment ng principal, lumiliit ang interest, nagkakaroon ka ng stability sa iyong operations. So somehow na ma-maximize mo yung operations, napapababa mo yung a little bit yung iyong expenses and those kind of stuff. So tataas ang iyong cash on cash return. And then your cash flow will gonna go up. Okay? So ito yung cash flow natin. That's the line. And then, nag-refinance tayo. Meaning, we secured another loan kasi pwede na nating kuhanin yung additional value increase. Okay, ito na yung mga pinag-aaralan natin. Nag-increase ang rate ng rent. Second year, third year, we come up with an extra money available for refinance. So dahil, I think my example here is 50% of the equity, meaning of the money you invested was refinanced by the bank. So ibabalik na natin yung 50,000 nyo kasi yung 100,000 natin, nakapag-refinance na tayo ng half nun. Binalik na ng bangko sa atin. Kumuha na tayo nun. So this 50,000 is a non-taxable event. That is a non-taxable event. Kasi loan ito. Papatong ito dun sa utang ng building. And what will gonna happen, babalik ang capital contributions natin. We only now have $50,000 doon sa ating investment. But look, it doesn't change your ownership. You keep your ownership percentage from day one until you sell the property in the future. Kasi hindi yan nagagalaw. Ang nag-change dito is the cash on cash returns. Kasi depende yan sa operations mo. Tumaas ng konti yung ating loans on the fourth year kasi kumuha tayo. Maybe bababa ng konti yung ating cash flow ulit. So dahil ang iyong contributions is 50 grand, doon pa magbabase yung 3% na income mo. So it will keep on and on and on. Now, on the 6th year, we decided to sell. Okay, babalik yung ating capital contributions na 50,000 from the sale. See? From the sale. And then, on the 6th year, let's say, ito yung income ng ating property. 500,000 in 6 years. Dahil meron kang 5% share of ownership. The profit of 500,000, 5% of that is 25,000. That is the profit of your investment. From the sale of your investment. So now, to summarize, total return of money, capital and profit included is 142,000. These two are non-taxable kasi that's your contribution. And then the 17,000 and the 25,000, those will be taxable as partners. But do you think you're gonna pay taxes on it? It depends. Kasi this money will still be subject to depreciation, especially cash flows. That will be subject to depreciation. Kasi, well, when we sell it, magkakaroon tayo ng recapture. Ito mga bagong terminology to sa inyo. But for sure, if you have questions, just let me know. Sa real estate, we have this called terminology depreciation of asset. That's one of the beauty or benefits ng meron kang property, real estate property that is making money for you kasi over a period of time, you can, kahit kumikita ka, in reality, pero pag nag-file ka ng income tax mo, it doesn't look like you're making money. So meaning, that is a tax shelter for you. But don't worry, we'll discuss this more kapag ka na-invite natin yung tax accountant natin. So we'll find ways to siguro kahit i-interview ko lang siya and then we're gonna discuss it on our Zoom call and then we'll hihimayin natin yung pieces together so we can understand what the person is saying. Kasi minsan in layman's term, ang hirap maintindihan yung mga technical persons. Alam nyo, the best way of learning is experience. Kaya nga, yung confidence nyo when it comes to investing, it will gonna grow more once you experience it. Yung process, paano ginagawa, ano yung pagdadaanan, those you will gonna experience. That's why your confidence will gonna go up. Sa ngayon, it's more on theoretical, parang speculations, just an examples, plus minus, estimates. So yun palang yung ginagamit natin. But in reality, you're gonna develop that kind of confidence in the real world kapag kasama na kayo sa investment. That's how it is. So if you won't sell, ang projections kasi na to is refinance third year, sale in 6th year. What if you refinance on the 3rd year and then you refinance again on the 6th year? Yun ang pinakamaganda kasi you still hold the property and on the 7th year ang mangyayari niyan ganito. I think I can do this while you're there. Hindi lang ako masyado mabilis. Mag-insert. Teka, insert. Mag-insert tayo ng table dito. Okay. What if we didn't sell it but we refinance it? On the 7th year, ganito mangyayari. Itong pinakamaganda sa lahat. Magkano na lang ng contributions natin? Am I right to put it as 0? Tama ba? Kasi You got it already here. Pero wala to. Okay? Wala ito. We'll remove this. Kasi hindi pa natin binibenta. Hindi natin binenta ng 6 year. Ni-refinance lang natin. Kinuha ulit natin yung ating capital. So we don't have capital anymore. Now, dahil wala ka ng capital, meron ka pa bang shares of ownership? Yes. You still own it. Galing, no? Wala ka ng pera. So dahil wala ka ng pera dyan, so paano yun? Wala ka na rin cash flow? Maybe. Or maybe yes. Pero wala kasing pagbabasihan yung cash flow nyo. So, let's try that as an example. Pero hindi tayo papayag yan kasi may cash flow yan for sure. Let's see lang ganyan. Pero imposible walang cash flow to. You still have cash flowing dito. Kasi ang nakakatawa na nun, by this time, ang tawag kasi namin dito is infinite return. Infinite, ang tawag. Infinite return. Wala ka ng capital contribution, so you don't have money on the deal anymore. But because you still own 5% of the property, your cash flow will still be the ownership share. So, ganun ang mangyayari dyan. So, kung magkano yung magiging spill of the operations on the 7th year onwards, it will be divided according to the ownership of the partners. So, kung kumita tayo ng 50,000 on the 7th year, so you have 5% of that. That's how it is when it comes to infinite return. It will be the basis. This will be the basis. Ang sarap, ano? Well, anyways, but again, those cash flow, all cash flow are taxable. But of course, depreciation will be deducted from it. So it means that even if you're making money, it doesn't look like it when you file your tax return. If it's not clear, let me know. Let me know if you have questions. When it comes to numbers, I'm telling you, this is a music to my ears all the time. I just didn't know kasi marami ang hindi nakakagrasp ng numbers. Is it clear with you, Brian, the way the infinite return works? That time will come where you own the property and you already utilize lahat ng contributions doon na ialis mo na ilagay mo na to another asset. And then, so that's why we were talking about the one that we posted on post namin sa Facebook na nanganganak pala yung bahay. O, di ba? Nanganganak siya eh. The money needs to have a baby. So our buildings has babies now. So it will grow. Yung kinukuha nating equity on it, depending on the way we want to use it, we can use it towards our next acquisition or towards whatever you want to do. Ganun na process nun. But the group is always wanting to expand. So that's why we keep on searching for properties that would qualify dun sa underwriting.
Example nung kung para mas makatulong din makaintindi sila ng paano yung infinite return kung sa akin. Yung kasi yung 'di ba ako may rental na ako.
Yeah.
Kung paano ginawa ko dun sa rental ko, binili ko yun back 2015. Tinirahan ko yun for 7 years. Moved to a different house. I kept it to be rental na siya. And then kinuha ko yung equity noon, yung bahay na yun. And that's what part of it is used para dito sa naging investment natin. What I mean, yung sa kinuha kong equity, hindi ako yung nagbabayad mo kasi yung tenant ko na. So it's same thing as now, it's much bigger investment natin which is gonna be multi-family. Mas malaki din syempre yung pag-angat din, depende rin sa market. So yun yung isang example kung paano. Share ko lang kasi siguro yung iba para mas may magandang example for them to understand that.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Sa amin naman, isa sa example, very similar to Brian. When we bought our first house, nagkaroon yun ng equity eh. So we took the equity, we use it towards buying another house. Yun yung ginawa naming start ng flip. So nag-buy and sell. So yung aming first property, ang down payment and closing cost namin nun, close to 218,000. Sabihin natin 210. 7% noon ang aming down payment. So parang nasa 15,000. So when we bought our second house, that was 160. 20% of that is 20% of 160 is 32,000. Diba? 20%. Ang property value nung binili namin, second property namin, which is our first, a flip property, is 160,000. Galing doon sa equity nung first house yung funds, which is 32,000. So dahil ng pera talaga lang namin doon is initial capital namin on our first house is 15,000, halos na doble na. I took 32,000, so there's no money wala na yung down payment namin dun sa first house namin, correct? So it has an infinite ano na yun, although there's no return on that. But yeah, ganun siya. So meaning your first contribution that you put in your house, kinuha mo na yon at ginamit mo towards an investment. So that's why yung first property mo doesn't have your original money anymore. Ganun siya. Okay? Ang maganda lang kasi sa mga income property, like our office. We bought our first office in 2015. Okay? 2015. Tandang-tanda ko pa yon kasi hindi kami nag-qualify sa bangko. Ayaw ng bangko ng property namin. What happened during that time was the owner of that property doesn't have any mortgage on that property anymore. Sabi niya sa amin, dahil wala na akong utang sa bangko, ako ang bangko mo. Just give me 15,000 and this property is yours. Bayaran mo ako ng monthly. Sarap ano? Sana lahat yan. Sana all. So, hindi kami nagkaroon ng processing sa bank. We just go to our lawyer, sign the papers, tapos gumawa kami ng agreement with the owner that will pay him monthly payments similar to what the bank requirements. Parang, ang interest rate namin, whatever the bank's rate during the time. So, 1 year kami na siya yung naging bangko namin until we fix the office and now the bank likes it. So, on our second year, doon lang nagkaroon ng mortgage sa bank yung aming office. Yun yung Ellis. And we paid off whatever we owe doon sa owner. Ang tawag doon sa ganung klaseng sale or purchase or transaction is vendor take-back mortgage. That can be done when there is no mortgage on the property being sold. So, nagkaroon ng ganong klaseng event and after 1 year, saka lang kami nagbayad sa bank. So, nabayaran na yun. So, that's how it is. And then that first building on Ellis, which we put in 15 grand, nung nakita namin yung second building on Sargent, doon na galing sa equity ng Ellis yung pambili namin ng Sargent. So that's how it grows. So one after another. So small scale, but that's how yung simplicity ng pag-grow, one step at a time, one asset at a time. So here, if you will gonna get all the contributions that you put in towards your first asset, pwede mong ilagay yun dun sa second asset. Any other questions or examples or something to share? Okay, I think I have nothing to share na. Ang ating sessions about understanding numbers is actually ang last sessions natin is about tax kasi. Nakasunod nito is if you were gonna invest on something, should learn ano yung portfolio na yan. Will you keep it or you will gonna sell it at a certain point in time? Ideally, investments in real estate, especially multifamily, you're gonna hold it for generations. Isa sa magandang portfolio to hold is multifamily. Kasi yung consistency of income is there. Ang mga offices or warehouse or minsan ang commercial, depende sa business na ilalagay mo doon. And yung mga business na magre-rent sa'yo ng space. So we're in the space market. Majority of the time, yung stability of rents, nakikita yan sa mga multifamily business. Kasi people, whatever situations or economy we have, people needs a place to live. That's the very reason why yung stability ng rental property on residential multifamily is huge, especially on a growing market. Kagaya ng Canada that is very open for immigrants, that's where the big demand for housing is. Up to now, yung housing crisis natin is still there. So we still need more housing. It's not houses ang pinag-uusapan dito. Ang pinag-uusapan dito are multifamily homes. Kaya that's what we want to invest into. So we have to learn that stuff in our next session. Are we keeping it or are we selling it? There are 4 exits na kailangan nating malaman. when we are buying real estate. Okay, just like what we discussed on our club session nung ating mastermind last time. This is one of the 7 habits of highly effective people by Stephen Covey. Sabi niya sa libro, a leader has to begin with the end in mind. Kasi you should know where is your exit. You know yung diskarte mo, ano yung dapat mong gawin. Hindi basta bili lang ng bili, dapat meron kang diskarte. Okay? So that's what you need in order to progress in real estate investments. I think with that, unless you have any other questions, we're already good. I will send another invitation. Because this is actually the last session for the numbers, understanding numbers. Tandaan nyo, number of doors is the most important number in the multifamily investing. The more numbers, the better. Second is
Location.
location. Prime location is important. But when it comes to numbers, ano yung kasunod? Which is related sa location. Understanding the vacancy and occupancy. Okay? Kasi kapag ang vacancy mo ay masyadong mataas, it means your location might not be the right location. So that is related to location, vacancy and occupancy.
Vacancy rate.
Yeah, the vacancy rate. Net operating income, NOI, third important one. Gross rent, vacancy rate, NOI, cap rate. Did I share this? Nakikita niyo ba?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, computation ng valuation of the property. Why that is important? Because of refinancing. If you can follow through, bakit tayo nagkaroon ng 50,000 distribution nung nag-refinance tayo? It's because of that. We know how to compute. Tumaas na yung rent. There is another value, additional added value of the property. So, kukuhanin na natin. That's refinancing. And then computation of cash flow, the cash on cash. And let's set another day for the tax topic. Very interesting ito. Although I understand about this, pero mas magandang yun talagang marunong dito ang mag-discuss sa atin para we're listening to someone who's really qualified to discuss this with us. Okie dokie. So I think
Alright.
that's everything that we have to know for this session. Thank you so much for your time and see you exacto at 7 o'clock. Okie dokie.